Hello and welcome back to another flow with me. My name is Yvonne and I'm really excited that you are here today. Once you're on your mat, interlace your hands behind you, reach the knuckles towards the floor and start to take a couple of neck rolls here. To the left and to the right. Take a nice big stretch overhead and then place both hands onto the ground. Take a moment just to feel all fours on the floor. Take your left foot out towards the side and we're going to start to do some cat-cows here. Keeping the left foot rooted on the floor, begin to inhale, arch through your lower back, open the chest. And as you exhale, push away, round everything in, pressing the upper back up towards the ceiling. Just find your own pace, moving between extending the spine and arching the spine. Start to take some hip circles, moving the hips around. So you might want to draw your feet in a little bit closer and then just start to circle towards the left. All right, big circles, nice and slow. Untuck your right toes and then sit the hips all the way back towards your right heel. Breathe. Gently bring yourself back up. Slide the left knee back underneath you. Repeat the same thing on the right. Take the right foot out and then begin your cat-cows here. Moving your breath with your spine. Inhale as you open the chest. Exhale as you round the back. Inhale. And exhale. Take one more. And then bend the right foot in and start to take some hip circles here, circling towards the right, right? Really trying to push the knee out as you get into some spaciousness through the right hip. Straighten the right foot back out, untuck your left toes and then sit the hips back towards the heels and breathe. Bring yourself all the way back up, slide the right knee back underneath you. And from here, you're going to start to kick the left heel back behind you, taking circles with your left knee. So we're just really getting into that left hip. Go for a couple of circles, big circles. Take it a little bit slower if you want to feel a little bit more. And then go the other direction. Gently place the left knee back down and then let's circle on the right. Taking it outwards first and then circling inwards. Gently place the right knee back onto the floor. We're going to take a puppy pose here. Start to walk the hands forward, reaching your chest, your chin or your forehead onto the ground. Keep the hips nice and high. Big breath. Let the heart drop heavy into the ground. Feel that big opening through your upper back. And breathe. Slowly pick your heart back up. And we're going to move into a lizard's lunge here, okay? So like a lizard stretch, lizard lunge. Take your left foot outside of your left hand. And if you want, you don't have to get into a static position right away, but you can just move a little bit intuitively. Maybe you are rocking front and back. Maybe you're drawing small circles with your hips. I just have my right foot slightly up and then I begin to lower it down. I like to also put my left elbow on my left knee sometimes just to find a bit of support first. Once you feel quite spacious, see if you can bring both elbows onto the ground and just hold in a deep lizard's lunge. Breathe into your stretch. Continue to stretch the chest forward as you're in the position. Gently bring yourself up and then draw the hips back, straighten into your left leg, come into a half split stretch. And then release the left knee back underneath you, shake it out a little bit, and we're just switching it on the other side. So right foot outside of your right hand. Once again, just finding some intuitive movements here, wriggling it out, making some circles. Just let your body move a little bit before you come into that static position. Maybe you play with lifting and lowering the left knee as well. Both hands on the ground if you feel ready to explore a deeper sensation. Breathe into the feeling, into the stretch. Gently bring yourself back up, and then let's begin to straighten the right leg, pushing the hips back. Find a variation that works for you. If you need blocks here, feel free to pause the video, grab blocks, and use the blocks to support your position. I almost forgot what I wanted to say there. Okay. Rebend into the right leg, bring it back. And then we're just going to come into a deep yogi squat position. Okay, so shifting the weight side to side. Try to really open the knees out. Keep the spine long, tall, and strong here. You don't want to be collapsing in this position. Bring the elbows inside of the knees. Bring the palms together. Breathe. Open through the hips. If your heels cannot touch the floor, you may use something to support the heels so that you have a little bit more range. We're going to lift the hips up and lower back down. Lifting up, straightening the legs. Lower the hips back down. Lift the hips and lower back down. Lift the hips up, just hover here for a moment, and then slowly roll the spine all the way back into a standing position, y'all. Okay, shake it out just a little bit. Let's start taking a couple of hip circles here. Okay, hands onto your hips. Just start to circle your hips up. Doesn't matter left or right, just go for it. Explore different directions. Just feel loose into the hips. Notice maybe it does not feel as tight as when you first started. So that's a good sensation to lean into. Continue to circle to the left and to the right. If you want to play with making figure eights with the hips, you could do that. Just feel a little bit sensual for a moment. That's really nice. We're going to move into a wide straddle position here. Okay, once again, if you need blocks, bring your blocks to help you underneath your hands. Take the feet out wide and fold over. Maybe you bring the hands together so that you can rest your forehead, or maybe you are resting your hands on the block. So make the position work for you. If this feels like too much, blocks would be so good here, yeah? Come onto your hands, and we're just going to lift and lower in a wide straddle position. So lifting the chest and lowering back down. Try to keep the spine as long as you can. And then let's slowly start to bend into sitting towards the left leg. All right, keeping the right leg nice and long. Right toes up towards the ceiling. Take the left hand inside of your left knee. If the heels don't reach the ground, don't worry about it, as long as there's energy driving down from your heels into the ground. Hold and breathe. Sit the butt down however you can. Fold the left knee in. Take a big breath in. Stretch both hands up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, fold over your right leg. You can play with flexing and pointing your right toes. Breathe and rest. Slowly bring yourself back up, and then you're going to fold that right knee in. So you're going to come into a 90-90 position with both legs, okay? So find a 90-90 position, and you're going to fold over your right shin, stretching both hands forward. Finding, again, a big, nice stretch into your right hips. Gently bring yourself back up. Take a moment. And then we're just going to find our way back into that same straddle position. So find a wide straddle position first. We're going to just repeat everything on the other side. This time, sit onto your right leg. Okay, open the right knee out, left toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Breathe into your side squat. Side stretch. And hold. Maybe rocking a little bit front and back here. Again, the stretch does not have to be passive, it can be dynamic. Fold the right leg down, stretch the left leg forward. Big inhale, both hands up. Use your exhale to fold over the left leg. See if you can grab onto the foot. Stretch the heart forward towards the foot. Bring your body back up, and you're going to fold the left knee into a 90-90 position. And then once again, inhale to stretch up, and then use your exhale to fold over your left thigh, left shin. Sort of a modified pigeon pose here. Feels really good and a little bit more accessible than a full pigeon pose. And breathe. Gently bring yourself back up. And we're just going to drop the knees side to side here, opening and closing. Take it a little bit slow. I really want you to feel the hips here, right? So think about peeling the knees open and then dropping it down, like you're working through honey, if you will. So opening and closing, just moving it side to side. All right, so we're gonna come into a frog pose here. So bring the knees out wide, flex into the foot, bring the arms down, and I want you to start to sink the hip bones into the ground. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your knees, feel free to either roll up the mat so that you double mat and place it under your knees, or if you have any cushion of sorts, you can just put it underneath your knees so that it does not feel so uncomfortable. Ideally, you want to roll onto kind of like the flat side of your knee, not so much directly on the knee, but sometimes if you lack that flexibility, that can happen. So allow yourself to modify what feels comfortable for you here. We're just going to stay in this frog pose position for a moment. Maybe you stretch your arms out. Maybe you fold the hands in, resting the forehead onto the arms. Continue to sink the hip bones down towards the ground. Then gently come out of the position and find yourself in a seated position. Stretch your right leg out, bend into your left knee. We're going to come for a twist here. Take an inhale, right hand up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, connect your right elbow to your left knee and twist, gazing towards the room behind you. We're going to switch sides, bend into your right knee, take an inhale, left hand up towards the ceiling, and then as you exhale, left elbow towards your right knee. Find a nice long twist. Let everything go. When you're ready, bring yourself down onto the ground. Bring the feet together, take the knees out wide, sort of a reclined butterfly position here. Take the hands out to the side. This is going to be our last position for the day, so just take a moment to relax here. Opening the knees out towards the floor. Slowly bring both these back in to meet each other. Rock side to side. We are already at the end of our flow. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you feel so juicy and so good in your hips, and I will see you all in the next flow. Bye.